Right, so we'll get questions from this tutorial sheet. So this tutorial sheet was for your friends for the January intake, tutorial sheet 1. I'm very much sure they're going to give you the same tutorial sheet. Okay, so if you go on my YouTube channel, there are some questions that I solved from this tutorial sheet. You can start going through. Okay, just start going through the videos. We solved all these questions here that you can see from question 1 all the way to whatever this tutorial sheet is ending. Yeah, so we solved all these questions here. Okay, and you can find some of the videos on my YouTube channel. Okay, but the full videos of this, they are on our website. So now my interest here today is just this part that has the, yeah, this one that has the surds. Okay, so we'll concentrate on this part here. So let me just get it and then we try to solve the questions. Okay, so this is what we have there. So these are the actual exam questions from the tutorial sheet. So let's solve them together. Okay, so these ones, they're a bit tricky, but we just use the same concepts, the same rules. Okay, so the first one, they're saying express this guy, okay, in the form a plus b root 3. Okay, express this expression that we've been given here, okay, in the form a plus b root 3. So here, what they're basically telling us here, okay, is to simplify this whole expression that we can see here. Okay, we simplify this whole expression that we can see here, but in our simplification, somewhere, somehow, we should remain with the root of 3. Okay, so let's write this guy here. So 3 plus 1 divided by root 3 minus 1, and then plus, we have a root of 3 here minus 1. Okay, so if I can ask, where can we start from? Anyone who has an idea, where can we start from to simplify this expression so that we get something that will look a plus b root of 3? Where can we start from? Come on, guys. Where do you think we can start from? Okay, so here, where we start from is just rationalizing this part here. You've seen this part here. So this part, we can rationalize it. And then this one and this one, just leave them the way they are. So let's rationalize this. So remember, we said when rationalizing, we are multiplying by what we call as a special one. So meaning we are not changing anything. Okay, we're just changing in the way that we express it, but the meaning, the numerical value remains the same. Okay, so let's rationalize this. So it will be root of 3 plus 1 over the square root of 3 minus 1. Okay, so I'm multiplying now this with its conjugate. Okay, so the conjugate here, they have a minus. So in my conjugate, I'm going to have a plus divided by root of 3 plus 1. Okay, so this will be equals to uh, root of 3 plus 1 multiplied by root of 3 plus 1. So here, let's move together. Okay, so we have root of 3 multiplied by the root of 3. I only get 3, right? And then root of 3 multiplied by 1, I'll get plus root of 3. Okay, so I'm done with this one. I go to this one, it will be 1 multiplied by the root of 3, which will just be root of 3. Okay, and then 1 multiplied by 1, I'm going to get 1. And then I'm dividing all this by, here, I'm multiplying two expressions that are conjugates of each other. So remember what we said? We said you multiply the root of 3 multiplied by the root of 3, which are the first terms. I'm just going to get 3. And then I say minus, you multiply the second terms, which is 1 and 1. So you're going to get 1. So what I have there is just 4. Okay, if I add 3 plus 1, I'll get 4. And then root of 3 plus root of 3, I'm going to get what? 2 root of 3. And then I'm dividing this by 3 minus 1, which is what? 2. So this 2, I can divide it into this 4. This 2, I can divide it into this 2 root 3. So what I get there will just be what? Okay, so 4 divided by 2, I get 2 plus 4 divided into this pi, this guy here, I'm going to get root of 3, right? Okay, so it means this whole expression here, the one in the blue box here, it's just this. Okay, so we can replace it there, and then we see if it's going to simplify to what they told us. Okay, so this whole part here has just become 2 plus root of 3. And then I have now this root of 3 and the minus 1. So I have plus root of 3, then minus 1. Okay, so here it will be 1, it will be 2, I mean, minus 1, which will just be 1. And then root of 3 plus root of 3, that will give me plus 2 root of 3. So we have expressed it in the form that they wanted, with A being equals to 1, and then B being equals to what? 2. So this guy is exactly in this form here. Okay, I think I shared the video for this question, right? I think I did. All right, so any questions there?
No.
All right, so let's move to part 2, or the second part there. Okay, so the second part, they're saying show, okay, show that 4 over 2 root 2 minus root 6 is equals to 2 root 2, and then 2 plus root 3. Okay, so let's try to rationalize the denominator. We see if we're going to get this. So we're rationalizing the denominator on this guy. Okay, so we have 4 over 2 root 2 minus root 6. That's what we have. Okay, let's multiply by the conjugate. The conjugate is simply 2 root 2 plus root 6 divided by 2 root 2 plus root 6. Okay, so what are we going to get? We're going to get 4 multiplied by 2 root 2. That will be 8 root 2. 4 multiplied by this, I'm just going to get 4 root 6. Okay, and then divided by, what do we remain with there? Okay, so we are in the denominator right now, right? So I'm multiplying this conjugate with this guy. So it will be 2 root 2, okay, multiplied by 2 root 2. So we are multiplying the first terms there, okay? So this one, it will be 2 multiplied by this 2 to be 4. And then root of 2 multiplied by root of 2 to be 2, okay? So 4 multiplied by 2, this gives me 8. Okay, so if I multiply 2 root 2 multiplied by 2 root 2, I get 8, okay? And then we said you put a minus and then you multiply the second terms there. So that is just root 6, root 6. So this will give me 6. So what I have now is 2 root 2 plus 4. So now this root 6 here, I cannot see any root 6 here. So I have to simplify this root 6 to be expressed in a root of 3. So I know that root 6, okay, is the same as root of 2 multiplied by 3. So this will be the same as root of 2 multiplied by the root of what? 3. So this root 6, I'll write it as this, okay? Because on the other part of the question there, I have a root 3, okay? So it will be 4 multiplied by root 2 multiplied by root 3. So this is our root 6 here, okay? And then divided by 8 minus 6, which is 2. Okay, so from there now, we see that we have something that is common between this term and this term. So the thing that is common there, what is it? Who can see it? What do you think is common between those two terms so that we factorize it? Anyone who can see it? You can't see it, guys. What do you think is common between those two terms that I've underlined in blue?
The
Anyone?
square root
Mhm.
2.
The square root of 2, right? What else is common? Okay, let me say, let me say, okay, between 8 and 4. What is common between 8 and 4?
8 can go in. Oh, 4 can go into 8.
Uh-huh. So yeah, exactly. Okay, so meaning 4 is common between these two. So that's exactly what you can see here. I can see 8 and 4, which means 4 is common. I can see root 2, root 2. Root 2 is common. So what I'm going to factorize from this expression here will be 4 root 2. Okay, and then in the brackets here, when I remove 4 root 2, I'm just going to remain with 2 here. Okay, why? Because if I multiply 4 root 2 with 2, I get back my 8 root 2. And then here, when I remove 4 root 2, I get plus what? Root 3. And then down there, I still have these 2. Okay, so these 2 now can cancel out with this 4. So I'll get 2 root 2. And then in the brackets, I have 2 plus root 3. So this is exactly what is on the right-hand side of that expression, right? So we started with this. You see it here. Look. And then we're ending up with what we have on the right-hand side here. So we've shown that as simple as that. All right. So if there are no questions, I'll move to the last one.
Sorry, Zay, but can you explain again?
Okay, so where should I explain?
I think from the beginning.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the question here is simple, guys. Okay, I think I can even do it. So let's move step by step, but we are going to do the same thing. Okay, so the question here, okay, is that show that this expression here, the 4 over 2 root 2 minus root 6, is the same as this. Okay, so how do we show that? We simply rationalize the denominator for this expression that we have on the left-hand side. So um when we want to rationalize here, what do? We multiply by the conjugate. That's what we learned, okay, today. So what is the conjugate of this guy here in the denominator? The conjugate there is 2 root 2 and then plus root 6, okay, divided by 2 root 2 and then plus root 6. So how do you get the conjugate? You simply write the same expression but with a different sign here. So if I have a minus there, it means there I'm going to have a positive here. And what we are at what we call this thing here, we call it as a special one because the same thing divided by the same thing is 1. So meaning we are not changing anything in this expression, okay? We're just changing in the way we are representing it. And then now I multiply 4 multiplied by this whole thing on top here. I get 8 root 2 plus 4 root 6 divided by here, these two expressions here, this one and this one, they are conjugates of each other. So we said if they're conjugate of each other, we can always use a shortcut to multiply them, right? We said we multiply the first one with the first one, and then we say minus multiply the second term with the second term. So when we multiplied the first term and the first term, we got 8. Okay, and then when we multiply root 6 and root 6, okay, we got what? 6. Yeah, oh, we got 6. And then now we said this root 6 here, it cannot survive. Okay, it cannot survive in this war. Why? Because in the question that we are showing there, I can say root 3. So I better express this root 6 in terms of root 3. So that's why we wrote 8 root 2 plus, here we still at 4, but this root 6 can be written as root 2 multiplied by what? Root 3. That's what we said, and then we are dividing this by 2. So if you want, you can divide this 2 into this and that just here. Or if you want, you can first factorize and then divide by the 2 later. Okay? So here I'll first divide. So 2 into this, I'll get 4 root 2. Okay? And then here, what am I going to get? I'll get plus. Did I do it correctly? Okay, so this 4, 2, 8. Okay, I think I did. So here, if I divide, I'm just going to get what? I'm going to get 2 root 2 multiplied by root 3. Okay, I think I went wrong somewhere. I'm supposed to have a 2 in front there. Anyway, okay, I didn't. Okay, so the the thing now here, okay, the thing now here is to factorize what is common between this term and this term. Okay, so what is common between those two terms? 2 root 2. Okay, So if I remove 2 root 2 from here, what am I going to get? I'm just going to remain with 2 and then plus. If I remove 2 root 2 from here, I'm just going to get root of 3. Okay, so you can see now that what we have there equals what we had on the right-hand side, which was this. Okay, we started with this, we're ending up with this. So hence shown. All right, I hope it's clear. Is it clear? Those who are asking, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, amazing. So now let's
Yeah, it's
Yes.
all right, thank you. So let's look at the last one. Okay, let's look at the last one, which is very easy, but it's just twisted, okay, to test your brain for your understanding. So what we have here is that we have root of 27 plus root of 21 plus root of 7 minus 6 over root of 3. Okay, we have to show that this whole expression is just the same as 8 root of 3. Okay, so you look at the final answer that you want to show. Okay, the final answer has a root of 3, this root of 3 here. Okay, so we better express all the roots that we can see on the left-hand side, okay, as root 3 something. Okay, because the final answer is root 3. So we better express all these expressions, the root of 27, root of 21, even with this root of 7, we better express it as something root of 3. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Okay, how are we going to do that? So let's do it. So I'll start with this root of 27. Okay, so root of 27. Can we think of two numbers, okay, such that if I multiply that number by 3, I'll get 27. Okay, so that number is 9. So it means this 27 is the same as 9 multiplied by 3. Okay, so this gives me a root of 9 multiplied by the root of 3, which will just be the same as 3 root of 3. So I've expressed this in terms of root of 3. Let's move to 21 there. Okay, so let's move to 21 there. So this 21, it's been multiplied by the root of 7. So this is going to be equals to, so 21 is the same as it.
3.
Yes, okay, so it will be 7 multiplied by 3 multiplied by the root of 7. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to separate root of 7 multiplied by the root of 3 multiplied by multiplied by the root of 7. So here what I'm going to have is equals to this root of 7 and the root of 7, they will multiply and the square root will cancel. So what I remain with is just 7 and then root of 3. Okay, so this whole expression here has just become 7 root of 3. Okay, and then we are remaining with the 6 over the root of 3. So this 6 over the root of 3, here we rationalize the denominator. Okay, so I multiply the top part by the root of 3 and the down part by the root of 3. So this will just become 6 root of 3 over 3. So that is what I have there. Okay, and I see that I can actually divide here because 3 can go into 6. So this is the same as 2 root of what? 3. Okay, so it means this 27 is 3 root of 3. This root of 21 multiplied by root of 7, it's 7 root of 3. And then this 6 over root of 3 is the same as 2 root of 3. Okay, so now I can replace there. So let me just write these here. 7 root of 3 and then 2 root of 3. So let's replace now in the equation. We see if it's going to give us the same thing. Okay, so the root of 27 is 3 root of 3 plus this whole part here has become 7 root of 3. And then we have minus this 6 over root of 3 has become 2 root of 3. Okay, so this is the same as 3 bananas plus 7 bananas minus 2 bananas. So what am I going to get? 8 bananas. But that banana now is the root of 3. Right, so that's how we can show that. So hence shown. So any questions there now? All right, so if there are no questions, as I said, on our website, you can find videos to all these questions from the tutorial sheet. Okay, it's just not only tutorial sheet one, you can find tutorial sheet two, tutorial sheet three, all the tutorial sheet that you're going to do. We have explained videos on them and we solved all these questions here. Okay, so that's basically it for today. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson and you learned something, or where you had some misunderstanding. I hope you've understood in this lesson. Okay, so if you need any help, okay, you can inbox me. Okay, so for those who are not there when I was starting the lesson, my name is Tutor Paul. Okay, Paul with an O, not A. So Tutor Paul Solutions, that's my name. And then I'm also working with my other colleagues. Okay, the ones that will take you in chemistry. You come and introduce himself, but his name is Tutor Fortune. Okay, and then there's Tutor John for physics and biology. Okay, so if you have any questions regarding these four, feel free to reach out to us. Okay, otherwise, those who like learning in advance, okay, I can show you our website here. Just a minute. I can show you our website. If you like learning in advance, you can start using it because we have everything there. We have videos for all the things that you're going to do, the tutorial sheet, even the past papers. Okay, it's taking a bit longer to load. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong with the network. It's not coming here. Okay, so we are coming up with a mobile app. Okay, so the mobile app, what it will be doing is that it will be allowing you guys to watch videos even if you are offline. Okay, so you can download the videos when you have bundles or when you're using school Wi-Fi. You download the videos. Those videos will be on the app. Okay, and then when you go maybe to your boarding house, even if you don't have data, okay, you can still watch the videos. So I'll send a link in the group. Okay, I'll send a link in the group. It will be collecting your email addresses because that's just when we're coming up with the app. So we need to confirm with Google that we are legit. Okay, so I'll send a link for the Google form. So in that Google form, it will just require you to type in your name and your email address. That's all. And then once you are done doing that, I'll give you access here to the app. Okay, you receive an email or I'll send you the link. You just click on it. Make sure you install the app on your phone. Okay, and then you can start using it. Okay, so this one is not loading. So we'll end here for today. I don't know if you have any other questions.
Can I ask?
Yes, you can ask.
Yes. Can you send this? Can you send this more side question on? Can you send this more side question on the WhatsApp chat?
Sorry, I didn't get you. You said what?
Hello.
Yes, I can get you now. You
Can
said
you
what?
send us more questions to practice on the WhatsApp
Oh,
group?
questions to practice.
Can you
Okay,
send us
okay.
more questions to practice on the WhatsApp group?
All right, no problem.
Yes,
No
sir.
problem. I'll send. I'll send in the group. All right, guys. If there are no questions, that's it
Okay.
for today. Have a
Okay.
blessed night.
Thank you.